that it could be Scarlet or Roland, depending on how these games go. But here we are on Demon Island for game one. Already, I give it to favor for Cosolix, right? Because you got that horizontal playing field, no walls, no platforms to stop him from getting one hit with the lance and taking it all the way to the bank.
Yeah, this is already looking a little bit rough. We're only 15 seconds in, but that start was as hot as it can get sometimes. But yeah, Cosolix immediately to the rocket lance on Demon Island. We've seen this a few times not too long ago with how crazy Cosolix can be. But look at this, Megd starting to put the pressure down the sword, being able to answer some of these really committal hitboxes that the rocket lance will put out.
That diagonal dodge and the fastball from Cosolix really mixed me up, but it didn't mix Megd up as he didn't get hit by an attack after that. Megd just barely misses out on the side sig. Now back to stage. He spot dodges, but the second swing of the lance neutral light catches him at the end of the spot dodge, and the side sig gets the read to take Megd off the left side of the stage.
And here we go, continuing this. Megd trying to find some footing here, but Cosolix, honestly, I think they're still running with that momentum of taking out Boomy not too long ago because they look like they're unstoppable. They're playing with confidence here. And look at this. They know they have the lead, too. They don't have to commit to anything crazy that they don't want to. Megd kind of has to make the first play. And as soon as they slip up, Cosolix is going to get huge punishes out of that. Does find a way back to the stage, but not for too much longer as Val gets a nice read with that recovery with the sword to close that one out. And now going to stick with the sword here to try and even this up.
Yeah, Cosolix waiting for that weapon spawn coming in. He has the lance primed, immediately gets him with the side air. And watch for that. Cosolix, one of the few players who really masters this technique of in the middle of a fight, regardless of how much damage is on his opponent, he'll switch off the lance, throw his secondary weapon away, and make sure that he has his lance primed for if he goes down again. And I wouldn't be surprised here in the middle of this battle against Megd if he knocks him away with a side air for that to happen. Megd, however, winning these exchanges, goes for the D-Light side air. Oh, and Cosolix with the side air to the chase dodge, goes all the way up the side of the stage, could have gotten the stock there, doesn't get it in the ground pound, could get punished for that. Side sig hits, it spikes. Megd covering the side of the wall, and that second side sig not enough. Cosolix has to dodge out of the way, and the D-Light ground pound catches him, disarms him, and sends him off the bottom of the map.
Beautiful edge guard coming out from Megd there, showcasing exactly how you make big plays to take big leads. And look at this, continuing to keep the weapon starvation going with one sword toss into picking up another sword for the combo. Went for something a little cheeky there, you know, definitely trying to go for the extra damage, perhaps a huge statement to go, you know, show Cosolix, hey, that's a great start, but how do you finish, man?
Oh, Cosolix goes in for that jumping ground pound, gravity cancel, neutral sig. He's just done.
Yep,
that's the game. Cosolix, okay, game one there, reminiscent to me about what happened to Boomy in game one in their set against Cosolix just before this, which is like Cosolix kind of got beat up and went, all right, let's just go to the next game. Let's pretend that game one didn't happen, because when he missed that ground pound, to immediately go for a gravity cancel neutral sig after that without being prompted by a reaction from what Megd's doing means that you are down a jump, you're down a dodge, and you're against sword, where Megd's already shown that on Val, he's willing to use that spiking property of the side sig to really take you off the side of the stage and take those stocks.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just Megd really just doing a fantastic job turning that around. But again, like, that's what good players do. They find ways, you know, even after going down what seems to be pretty huge leads, right? They find a way to grind that right back. Megd did an amazing job, got huge punishes that really matter, taking stocks, two stocks, honestly, off of edge guards. And, I mean, that's what Cosolix is going to have to take in mind here as we get into game two, is not putting yourself off stage into these precarious scenarios too often.
Yeah, and there we saw an opening from Megd primarily in the gauntlets, whereas the game prior to that, it was actually all sword. I wanted to check this. He did 2 damage with the gauntlets in the previous game. So yeah, Megd was really holding the sword here up against Cosolix, who, by the way, if the only number, there's only 2 numbers less than 2, and that's how much Cosolix did with the axe last game. It was 0. If you want, every character has 2 weapons in this game. But when we're watching Cosolix versus Megd, maybe you could say there's only 1, because Cosolix on that lance takes the first stock going into game number 2 and takes the lead once again.
I mean, there's definitely 2 specialists trying to do their best here. Sword versus rocket lance is pretty much the story of this set. Demon Island here as well, game 2, and we see Cosolix again taking that lead. They are in a bit of the red. It's just Megd has got to find their footing here, and they are sweating, and Cosolix does take advantage of that. Not going to lose their stock quite yet, but Megd is trying to close this one out. They are on the hunt for a first stock here in game 2.
Yeah, Cosolix trying to get that neutral sig read that Remy highlighted so much in the previous set on stream, but Megd dodging away from it, which means we may see an adaptation from Cosolix to go for a gravity cancel side sig off of a sidelight in air instead of of the neutral sig if Megd continues that dodging pattern. Down sig, trying to punish a dash in, doesn't get it. The second one catches him in the air, and Demon Island keeping him alive just a little bit longer. But remember here, Cosolix, after the third attempt, and that time successful, gets him off the top, and it's now 3 stocks to 1. A great adaptation coming out from that game 1 loss.
Maybe listening in on the stream here saying, all right, you want to see a little bit of axe damage? I'll give you a whole stock for the process. But yeah, finally, Megd going to be able to answer back here, but down a whole fresh stock. It's going to be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle. But I think if there's a player in this bracket who can do it, Megd is certainly one of the few.
Yeah, he's got to get Cosolix off the side of the stage like he did before. And on the sword, we saw that Cosolix had some difficulty recovering against that side stick. Once again, dodging out in a way from Cosolix off those gravity cancel neutral sigs, that time on the axe. And Megd's got him off the side. I thought he was going to go for a side sig, but Cosolix returns right back to stage. Neutral light comes through, weapons throw, stops Megd from getting anything more, and he does. He really doesn't want those gauntlets.
I mean, it's kind of interesting to see Cosolix kind of, stay on the axe a little bit more, but I think they recognize, hey, I'm not being able to pick up this rocket lance quite a bit, so I got to use this axe for what I can. Does find a way to close out game 2. Strong 2-stock as well. And you know what? Going 1-1 here, this is definitely going to be one heck of a match as we move forward.
Yeah, sideline side air, as we'll see in this replay here, is not a true combo, but we'll see the dodge from Megd on the way back up before using that sword recovery is why Cosolix just let it rip. That down sig, that's the second one that hit in a row. And right here, Megd dodges up to avoid the weapon throw, gets hit by it anyway. Sideline side air, Cosolix knows there's nothing he can do. And that's enough force to take him off the right side of the stage and give him that tied set, as you said, 1-1. We're now in game 3, both players with a bit of a score on the board.
Absolutely. But yeah, going to game 3, it's going to be a tough one, man. I mean,
he did more unarmed damage than gauntlet damage. 99 to 65.
They really don't like the gauntlets.
In this matchup, it's just like, oh, gauntlets.
Yeah, gauntlets? I'll just punch you in my hands, my real hands, not my metal hands. But as we move forward here, back to Demon Island, and I see that's the thing that really sticks out to me is that you mentioned how good Cosolix is on the stage. It's like, why do we keep coming back here?
So this is like it's just a thing that I've observed while watching Cosolix. It's like okay, 10 times out of 10, if he could get you to want to go to Demon Island, he's already gotten a W. But Megd did win on game number 1, so it's not like he's infallible here. It's just that I feel like he's very good here, and we saw last game how good he was, and now he's here almost taking another stock against Megd. Neutral sig comes through, and Megd responding back with a lot of damage down airs and the neutral airs all over the time. It's another thing, Skip, is just that in Brawlhalla North America in particular, Brawlhaven and Demon... Oh, whoa, he misses the jump on the...
You know what? We'll take it. Why not? I'll let you attempt to get your
Today, Brawlhalla is played with 2 stocks. there's not 3 stocks. Game 3 just starting here, Skip, as we're going in. Oh, look, the first weapon went over to Megd.
Yeah, Megd now having basically forced to fight with these gauntlets. It's about time. I mean, we saw Cosolix finally get some axe gameplay going on here, but look at this rocket lance carrying them from one side of the stage to the other, and that's why they love Demon Island. It gives them so much room to just push you all the way across.
And Megd now trying to respond in kind with the gauntlets. That side air doesn't get a jump off of the downlight. Down air would have hit there instead, but Megd responded correctly. Lots of damage coming through here, and after Cosolix fell off that accident on the left side of the stage, Megd is taking the lead in game 3. That sidelight not going to punish the whip sidelight from Megd, and Megd gets a down air as Cosolix can't get his stairs to connect.
Yep. Okay, and there we go. Cosolix taking their time. And the good thing is just not throwing out attack boxes either. Like just waiting and then throwing out one when they feel like they're able to, they got the pressure around. They're going to walk around here a little bit. They aren't like super worried about just getting in, pressing something like nothing's happening in the game. They are okay with that. But Megd does find the way to close out the second stock here. Now with the lead. And we'll see if they're able to close this one out, because right now, man, Cosolix, I feel like, has a lot of momentum, especially after a great 2-stock.
Yeah, and Megd now being up here in an orange means he's not at risk of Cosolix going for... Okay, well, now he is. Yeah, I was like, Cosolix tends to only let signatures rip when he knows that they're going to knock out. We saw that rare case with the down sig on Axe not knocking out, and then he just hit another one. Here he goes for 2 weapon throws, trying to get Megd scared off the side of the stage. And that side air, he's so good at catching Megd right when he tries to reset his jumps. If you stand on the wall fall too long, exclamation points let you know that you're about to slip off and fall. Megd, however, trying to reset those, gets caught up by Cosolix's side air, and now it's an even game 1-1, and Cosolix starts burning him with the lance snares.
Yeah, and what's scary is the fact that even after 2 weapon tosses, a weapon spawn right on top of Cosolix, and it happens to be Rocket Lance 2 to close that one out. And again, another Rocket Lance to just really push this back into the lead ever so slightly, though. Megd struggling, got the gauntlets in hand, and we know that's not where they're most comfortable. Yep,
tries to get the side air.
Going crazy here, gets him off stage.
Goes to the weapon throw down, gets the dodge, but because the weapon throw didn't hit him, he doesn't get the bounce into the pickup. Jumping side air gets punished, and Megd gets the nair, tries to get a double nair, D-Light side air, brings him off stage. Sidestick could do it, but Cosolix ready for it. Gets the side air, and Megd has to get back to the stage with no dodge, and Cosolix can't get the gravity cancel neutral light. He doesn't have a lance prime, but the down sig, not enough. He's going to go for a second down sig again. Oh no, Cosolix went for the style and it could cost him the entire game. He's got no jumps, he has to dodge back to stage, and Megd doesn't let the side stick go. I can't believe it. I thought that was the edge guard for sure.
Oh, and they got back to the stage here with the Rocket Lance, and once again off stage though. But the Rocket Lance, waiting for the recovery, and you know that's going to get punished, especially with a player like Megd on the opposite end there.
Made up for it.
Played.
I was scared for Megd there. There was an edge guard where he hit Cosolix with the side air. Cosolix literally only had a dodge to the stage, and he let him touch, even with that sword in hand, where he got the side stick that I was looking for at the end. That D-Light side air was a great knockout, but in here, when he picks up the sword, side stick catches Cosolix in the midst of the recovery, hitting him on the top of his head so that he doesn't get interrupted by the actual move, and he brings it to match point here in game 4.
And that was just an amazing reaction at the end there with the sig from Megd to be able to close that one out too. A 2-point difference on damage in game 3. As we get into game 4 here, Megd 1 game up, but Cosolix again on the hunt to just eliminate stocks as fast as possible with this Rocket Lance.
D-Light catches him on the dodge, and he sees it, and Cosolix so quickly goes, no dodge, side sig out of D-Light, because at the very end of that move means he's in an unusual amount of hit stun. Falling down air, can't get the side sig on that spot dodge, needed to hold that for that one to connect, and Megd gets a good punish because of it. Down air once again, but that down air from Cosolix responds, puts his axe out. Okay, down sig, I don't think we'll get him here. That ground pound, oh no, Cosolix, stop. No, that's the second time that we've seen him go for these gravity cancel neutral sigs, and Megd just destroys him for it off the side of the stage. I mean, I was so confident in Megd's edge guard there that I could finish saying that once he put that neutral sig out, that was the stock.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, but like I feel like we saw that same exact scenario in game 1 too.
Yes.
Especially on the left side here. Cosolix is able to answer back, albeit taking a little bit of damage, but you know, that's not too bad because now you got Megd, fresh stock, but no weapon in hand, and you got your Rocket Lance. You should find a way to try and even this up, but Megd, great defense. Just trying to keep him off until a weapon spawns. It is the gauntlets, so again, it's not the sword that we've been seeing Megd dominate with,
or
but
the
it's definitely
unarmed,
something.
which he's sometimes doing more damage with, but Cosolix is still having some trouble. Falling ground pound from Megd, catches Cosolix off guard on the sider, will pummel him, doing even more damage. Silent Nair dodges out of the way, and Cosolix falls even further behind as that down air connects, and he has to struggle to find some kind of opening here in Megd's defense, which is just too hard right now. He's trying to get to the center of the stage. Recovery hits, disarms him. Side air follows up. Megd starves him with the weapon, primes the sword, which means that even if Megd loses this one, the next one that spawns is going to be great for him. That delay recovery brings Cosolix down to his tournament stock.
Yeah, and having swords in hand here too, that's a great spot for Megd. Cosolix is on the back foot. And look at that. They were like, oh, please, just give me a weapon spawn. Megd says, nah, this is going to be mine. You aren't allowed to have anything. But they find a way to pick up a Rocket Lance here. And this is exactly what they need in hand to try and find a way to turn this around because you are on elimination point here, buddy.
Cosolix going for the... Oh, no, he touches. He has the recovery in hand to be able to get back. Megd trying to go for a falling... I thought that was falling nair. He may have misinputted for the side air, and that cost him the stock. Oh, right, major offstage flub there. I thought Megd was going to fast fall nair, catch him from beneath, get the vertical reversal, but he doesn't get it. Cosolix gets the double ground pound instead. It's Silent down air, brings Megd off stage. Dodge gone, but Cosolix no punish. Such a close game here. And remember, Skip, in the last game 5, Cosolix was in deep red. He still won it. Megd has to fight back hard.
Listen, if there's one thing that I think is constant, if there is a Cosolix, right, with a stock left and a Rocket Lance, there is a chance, and there's no way around it. But Megd, look at that great movement, trying to find a way around. Gets a punish for the downlight.
I think Cosolix is going to get this lance knocked out of his hands here. He has to switch it over, otherwise he's in danger of the next hit, leaving him unarmed. Megd, with his sword, falls to the nair, tries to get the D-line punish both players using their dash, their movement. Sider catches him out of the air. Cosolix goes all the way back to the stage, waits out the spot dodge because it's on the ground. Megd gets his dodge really quickly. Cosolix with one nair, gravity cancel neutral stick, dodge out of the way. Can he fall with the side air? No, there it is. That's why I was talking about Skiff.
Yep,
one hit,
there it goes.
and he's unarmed. Can Cosolix make it back?
And got the sword in here for Megd. They're trying to find a way to close this out. Cosolix finally gets a rocket lance back in hand. This is their last chance,
That's
the
it.
last stand, but that is all it's gonna be as we see Megd closing out game 4. Beautifully played, man. Just amazing defense, offense, just everything in between. Megd putting on a show for us.
Yeah, we get to see that side sig. So many stocks from Megd in this set came from that side sig, and then just being able to countlessly get more and more ground pounds until Cosolix stock goes down. D-Light recovery off the top, and here at the very end, so much damage being dealt either way, but Cosolix with that side air reads him incorrectly, and Megd sees that opportunity, gets the D-Light into recovery off the top of the stage, and wins the set, knocking Cosolix out at 5th and moving on into the elimination semifinal to fight against Stingray.
Yeah, man, that's a little unfortunate. It's not exactly what you were probably hoping for.
I was looking forward to it because I like seeing this matchup because
Right.
I've seen it seesaw back and forth. The Cosolix just destroying Stingray, and then there.